I guess my goal, like I want to make O-line look cool off the field too. You know what I mean? Just because you play O-line doesn't mean you can't find anything to wear.
Offensive linemen are cool?
Yeah, offensive linemen are cool too. You know, we can dress. I'm a person, I like the details and stuff. So for me, it's like, okay, I like to find one statement piece, and then I like to build around it. So the attention might be drawn to the shoes or to the pants. I might wear like a white shirt, some cool pants with, you know, some blazers or something, or I might dress it up on the shoes or whatever. So that way I'm not having too much going on at one time, so you're not noticing the details. That's how I like to do it. Not go above and beyond on absolutely everything I'm wearing. This brand is actually called Home Femme, and it's a brand out of LA. And the guy who made it, he reached out to me on Instagram. I like this brand and had some cool clothes that were actually in my size. So he's been sending me stuff since college, actually. So he hooked me up with this, and it was the first time I wore it. And I was like, you know what? I don't know a better day to throw it on than for a game day arrival. So I was kind of hyped. So I got the jacket from him. So this theme of the jacket is actually from the line that he made with the Kentucky Derby. It's really cool. I feel like that jacket was meant for me to be the statement piece, because the rest is kind of basic, which I kind of like, which I just got the white tee underneath, and I feel like I wanted the chain to be like a detailed thing to go with that. These jeans that I wore, I got them from the Serenade, and I call them like grapple hook jeans. I don't know what their like actual name is, but it's like, you know, like the people that climb mountains and stuff, they have like all that gear attached to them. It's like has all these like ropes and stuff like wrapped all around it. So I feel like they're kind of unique.
Like utility pants.
Utility pants, they're like really interesting utility pants. Timeless shoe, I felt like the Jordan ones were kind of cool to go with for that. So that's a cool hat, and it's a corduroy hat, so I think the material is really cool. So yeah, these sunglasses, I got those actually for the draft. I like to pull those out every now and then. I remember in college, I had a friend who had some glasses like that, but I think they were Gucci or something. It had like the logo or something on. I was like, yo, it's kind of dope. If I ever find some glasses like that, I'm going to get those. So I got those. That goes for the draft. I think it's kind of cool because like obviously there's like the Dior on it, but what makes them interesting shades is that like there's like a side thing on it too, like a side shield thing on it too. It makes it different. The coolest thing I think about the whole thing is obviously the jacket. I think just the little like patches and stuff on there. You know, you got the horseshoe and stuff like that, the Home Femme, and they got the stuff on the side and stuff. Yeah, it's cool. I feel like when I want to put something on, whether it's for like a dinner, or for a game, or you know, if I'm hanging out with the guys or something, I'm going out with my girl or something. My goal, I guess, I mean, one is to look good, but I feel like I've taken pride with me being an offensive lineman or me being 320 pounds. At my size, I feel like there's not a lot of clothes out there that are meant to make people my size look good. So for me, it's like, I kind of take pride in being able to find stuff that works where someone's like, dang, like, I didn't even know you could like dress that good in that size, or just cause I'm like, my weight is distributed differently. So I guess I sort of look towards finding stuff that fits right, or that it looks good to wear. You know, I'm putting on something, the only thing I play offensive line just cause I'm throwing it on. Cause there's something where people think like, you know, just cause you play offensive line, like, you're just not gonna, you know, you can't wear anything cool. You know what I mean? So I guess my goal, like I want to make O-line look cool off the field too. You know what I mean? Just because you play O-line doesn't mean you can't find anything to wear. You know?
Offensive linemen are cool?
Yeah, offensive linemen are cool too. You know, we can dress. Yeah, so when I was a kid, I had to have the Chad Johnson Zig-Tex. Like when I had those, like you couldn't tell me I was not the coolest kid ever. They're like $99 shoes. I had them in all the colorways. And then whenever they're dirty, I got the fresh ones as a kid. I think that was a drip, like when I was a kid, for me personally. Growing up, I went to private school a lot, so half the time I'm wearing a uniform. I didn't go to public school till my senior year. So my closet was really just wearing like some khakis and a button down. So when I showed to my public school, my senior year in khakis and stuff, like, what are you doing, bro? I'm like, this is my closet. So I was a transition a little bit into what I was trying to wear, just so because I'm not used to wearing the same clothes every day, you know, like how they do in the real world, you know? So that was a transition. Once I got to college, I think just getting to college and getting around my teammates who were from all over the place. Kids come from California, from Florida, or from Texas or whatever. So I'm starting, I guess, I got some inspiration from them too. And a lot of the older guys, that's where I really learned in college that you could find some websites or stores to find clothes that fit you. Like college, I was all about graphic tees, ripped jeans. I mean, you couldn't tell me anything. If I had to fire graphic tee, like, I was gonna wear that everywhere, you know, whether it was dinner or it was going out, I felt like it was versatile. You know, the graphic tee was the most versatile thing in the world to me. But then once I got here, I went to Cabo and all I packed were graphic tees. And then I realized that's not timeless at all. You know, that's not, like, I felt out of place. So now I started to buy, like, you know, clothes where, like, I can switch it up more, where I get more, you know, the button-down shirts, maybe some linen shirts, some silk shirts, like some Casablanca stuff. I'm starting to buy some stuff where I can wear it now and I can wear it later, and it'll be cool either way. You know what I mean? So. I feel like on the game days, it's totally different. I don't wear any sleeves on the field, and that's because I hate how, like, in the middle of a drive, you know, from blocking, it gets pulled down, and I gotta pull it up middle of the drive. If I thought the sleeve would stay up, I would be a sleeve guy, but for the photo shoots and stuff, I am a huge sleeve guy, for sure. I think it's cool, especially at Ohio State with the one sleeve, because I don't know, our strength coach, Mick, would have a rule that you can only wear 2 sleeves, no sleeves at all. I had one sleeve on, and then he was like, no, you gotta put another one on, I have to take it off. So I was like, all right, fine. So I took it off. And I thought he'd like see that reaction and be like, all right, you know what? You're fine, you can wear one sleeve. And he was like, all right, cool, you don't wanna wear sleeves at all then. From then on, I just wore no sleeves. So it kind of became my tradition on the field to not wear sleeves.
Function over fashion in that case.
Yeah. Okay. But you know, I wear the tights onto, I mean, now in the league it's a rule, but in college that was like my drip. But you know, that's kind of my thing. If I thought it would stay, then I would 100%, that would be the one sleeve look, honestly, with like exactly how I have it in the media day, like no gloves. Like in high school, like that's how I used to dress. Like in high school, I didn't wear gloves, I didn't wear tape. I was fully looks over functionality. But as I got to playing in college and then out here in the pros, it's like, no, I got the wrist rockets on, I got crazy tape on. It's totally different.
You're just trying to survive. You're just trying to go to war.
Yeah, at that point, it's about just going to war, you know? I actually worked with Brian Alexander for this suit. So again, I wanted something that would be simple, yet would stand out. So I guess that's why I went with that color. Oh, it's a cool picture. Dang, I need this one. But you know, you zoom in and you got the, you know, as the buttons, you got the pearls with the gold on the outside of the pearl. And then, you know, you have the name on the wrist, the Johnson Jr. on the wrist. And then you can kind of see like the style, the print on there. And it's like the whole suit was silk, which was dope. Same with the undershirt, it's silk too, with the gold brooch P on there, which is really cool. It's like his signature for like all the suits that he does, he puts together. And then again, I just knew I was gonna come out with some shades. I needed some hard shades, and I was like, I'm gonna make these shades fit the suit. But then also he wanted to make me some custom shoes. I actually built the suit off of these shoes, off the Dior shoes. I was like, I'm wearing these shoes at the draft. I've always wanted these shoes since they came out, and I needed a reason to wear them. And I was like, I'm wearing these shoes. And so he thought it was funny, because I'm like, no, like, the suit has to match the shoes, because I'm wearing these shoes regardless. You know, and then there's a cool picture, show up the chain from Leo. Yeah, so it's really cool. Yeah, there we go, the shoes. Yeah. Yeah.
With the 6th pick, the Arizona Cardinals select Paris Johnson Jr.
Can you explain a little bit of what was going on through your mind on the stage? Like, did you plan to get hyped?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what happened was, my entire life, I've like played in my head what it would be. I had to get the call and get drafted. And I always know I'd just be insanely crying unbelievably, just not being able to speak. But when I got the call and I got off the phone, first of all, I turned around and I was like, in front of my family, and the back of my suit actually ripped. Everybody hurt. I was hyped. Like, I wasn't supposed to move like that with that suit. I was like, But I didn't care. Like, I was just hyped off the moment. And then the entire moment, like, it felt like a game day. When I was walking through there, it felt like I was walking out the tunnel, the smoke and the fire, like, came out just hype. Literally, like, when you watch the TV copy of the draft, like, it shows me getting hype, but then it turns the audio off, because, like, I knew there were cameras, but, like, in the moment, I was like, I don't even cuss in front of my family, but, like, I was like, let's effing go. Like, I was screaming, like, they literally cut it off, like, right when I'm, like, it just cuts off. Oh, show the highlights. Like, I was hyped. Then I hit the stage, and, like, I don't know, I was freestyling, you know what I mean? If I thought, like, how I played in my head was me just crying, me throwing my hand up, like, hey, it wasn't, I didn't envision myself coming across the stage, just happened so fast. I'm like, I was like, yeah, you know what time it is. Like, I'm in here, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was honestly crazy. Like, I didn't even realize what number I went until, like, way after I'm doing stuff in the mirror. How does it feel to be a 6th pick? I was like, I went 6? Like, oh, let's go. Like, you know what I mean? Everything just happened so fast, you know?
You get the call and everything went out the window. You just...
I had the call, and I'm like, oh, let's go to practice. You know what I mean? I was ready for the next game, right then and there, you know? Before the draft, this is actually crazy. So, right before the draft, you know, we all get in line in the back room, and then we walk on the stage, right? To see all the draft people before we go back there and the draft actually happens. And I see a guy in a gold jacket, and he's just chilling in the corner, and he looks so familiar. And it's Aeneas Williams. My mama tells stories about him when he was here, same time my dad was here. But, you know, I just said, hey, how you doing? And he winked at me, and it was like, you know, it's all gonna come together, you know what I mean? And I was like, I didn't know what he was getting at. And I was like, all right, cool. You know, but then, like, right when I got drafted and I came down, he was the first person at the bottom of the stairs. He was like, I told you it was gonna happen. I told you. I was like, what? I was like, what are the odds that, you know, that he, I mean, I don't know if he knew before the draft that I was gonna be a Cardinal. He got a gold jacket on, so I'm like, yeah, I'll meet with you, I'll talk with you, whatever. You know what I mean? But, like, just connecting those dots, like, dang, like, that was really cool. I should have a picture on my Instagram with,
right.
Yeah, right there, yeah, come. Nah, it's one of my favorite pictures, you know what I mean? So I'm like, what are the odds that I'm walking down here to draft with Aeneas Williams, who was one of the mentors to my dad, and Aeneas Williams' wife was a mentor to my mom. So I thought that was cool. But now, that entire time, I screamed. That entire time, screaming with all the fans and stuff. Had the big hat on, see in the background. That big hat made its way up. I wore that the rest of the night. Yeah. I would say I'm more of like an old school. I kind of like, it's just kind of classic. I guess that's just what's more so how I'm trying to build my closet, I guess. You know what I mean? I'm not necessarily trying to follow like a trend or a fad that's in and out, you know? I like to get a statement, and then the rest is just some everyday essentials, something that like everybody, that somebody else can copy or find inspiration from, you know?